everyone, this is Anne-Marie from HandmadeJewelry. Thank you so much for joining me for another beading tutorial today. Welcome back to those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, and for those of you who are new, I have an Etsy shop where I sell handmade surf and beach inspired jewelry, and the name of my shop is Alma Surfside. And I also have an Instagram account which is Alma Surfside 7. So be sure to check out both of those in the description box down below. And for today's beading tutorial, we're going to be going over a necklace project, and it could actually be made into a bracelet or earrings or whatever else you want to use this for. It's very flexible in terms of what you can make. And the pattern is very intricate. I've used very small beads, so I've used 15 O's, and I've also used 11 O's just at certain points in this design. So you really only need 2 different sizes of beads, which is great. It makes it a lot easier so that you don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of new supplies. So what you're going to need for today's project is fire line, and I always use 6 pound or 0.006, and I have a 1500 yard spool here. I'll include a link to this in the description box down below, and you can check out either this size spool, and it also comes in 125 yards, so I'll include that as well. And of course the color that I'm using is crystal. And in the first pile there on my mat are Toho seed beads, and these are 11 O's in galvanized silver. Okay, so that's what they look like. In the second pile there on my mat are more Toho beads, and these are 15 O's, and the name of the color is galvanized rose. So these are metallic beads. They're pink. And in the last pile there on my mat, the third pile on the far right hand side, are more Toho beads, and these are 15 O's as well, and these are in the color clear. Okay. In addition to the beads, it's also helpful to have a lobster claw, and the reason why I've chosen silver for today is because I've used silver beads within the design itself, so that helps to match. And I usually go for a stainless steel lobster claw. And it's also important to have 2 jump rings, okay, one for each side of your necklace or bracelet, and these are stainless steel as well. Okay. In terms of other tools, it's good to have scissors so that you can cut your fire line as you're working. And flat nose pliers are also useful to work with the jump rings at the very end of the project. Okay, and of course you're going to need a beading needle, and that's it. Okay, so only 2 sizes of seed beads that you'll need for today's project, which makes it very convenient. So go ahead and gather all your materials, and let's get started. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've attached my beading needle to my fire line. I always start with an arm's length worth of thread just to get myself started, and then of course I tie on as I run out. And to get our oval shaped necklace started, what we're going to do is pick up 1 11 O, 2 15 O's, another 11 O, and 2 more 15 O's. There we go. So that's what you want to have on your needle at this point. 11 O, 2 15s, 1 11 O, and 2 more 15s. So for a total of 2, 4, 5, 6 beads on your needle. And you can push those down on your fire line. And it's good to leave a bit of a tail just so that you can finish off your project. So, I always say 6 to 10 inches is, a good estimate. And you're going to insert your needle up the very first 11 O that you put onto your needle. Okay. So that's the starting point right there. You want to have 2 11s on each side and 2 15s on the top and the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to insert my needle through this very first size 15. Okay, so now I'm coming out of the left-hand side there of the 15. Okay, and now I'm going to pick up another 15. And I'm going to go down the 15-0 there on the right-hand side. So the very next bead. Okay, so that creates a little point, okay, at the top there. And now I'm going to go through 2 more beads, so the 11-0 and the 15-0. And now I'm going to insert another 15-0, and I'm going to go down the next 2 beads. Okay, so that's the shape that you want to have at this point. It's basically 3 beads at the top in size 15, 3 beads at the bottom, same size, and then 2 11s on each side of your shape. Okay, now I'm going to insert my needle through the next 2 15s. And I'm going to pick up 1 15, 1 size 11, and another 15. Okay, so you want to have 3 beads there on your needle, 15, 11, 15. And I'm going to go through the opposite side of the bead that's sitting there at the top of my shape. Right there. Okay, so that's what you want to have at the top of your tiny little oval there. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So I'm going to go down the 15, the 11, and I'm going to go through the next 2 15s. Okay, so I'm going to flip my shape just so that you can see it a little bit better. So I'm exiting this center bead here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did on the other side. So go ahead and pick up a 15, an 11, and another 15. Okay, so you should have 3 beads there on your needle, and go through the opposite side of the bead that you're exiting. Okay, so now that I'm exiting this bead here, my thread's coming out on the right, I'm going to carry on down through the 15-0 below, as well as the 11-0, right there. Okay. And I'm going to pull on my thread. Okay, I'm going to hold my shape like this right now so that it's sitting sideways. And I'm going to pick up 2 more 15-0s. There we go, 2 beads on my needle. And I'm going to insert my needle into the very first 15-0 that's sitting there at the top of my shape. So this one right here, which is very close to the 11-0. And pull on my thread. Okay, so basically that just fills in the empty gap that was there. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go through the 11, go through the very first 15-0, okay, so that's what our shape looks like. And now I'm going to pick up 2 more 15s. And I'm going to go through the 11-0 below. There we go, and pull on your thread. Okay, so the top part is done, and we're going to continue by doing the same thing on the other side. Okay, so pick up 2 more 15s. And and I want you to go through the very first bead that's sitting there at the top, close to the 11-0, so right there, and pull on your thread. Okay, carry on through the size 11, okay, and go through the first 15 that's right there on the right hand side of the 11. Okay, and now we have one more empty gap to fill with a couple more 15-0s. There we go. So 2 more beads there on my needle, and I'm going to go down the size 11 right here on the right hand side. Okay, so that's our completed shape there. And we're going to just repeat the exact same pattern throughout the rest of the necklace. So you can go through the 3 15s as well as the 11. And now we're ready to make a connector. So to do that connector, I'm going to pick up one of my 15s in clear, another size 11, and another 15 in clear. There we go. Okay, go through the opposite side of the bead that you're exiting. And that sets us up for the next segment. Okay, so go ahead and reinforce it first by going through all of the beads that you just added on. And step up through the 15 clear on the right and go through the silver bead there in the center. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. We're exiting on the left hand side of our shape. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pick up 3 size 15s. There we go. And I'm going to go through the opposite side of my 11. And then I'm going to go down the first 2 15s. Okay. And now I'm ready to create, the inner circle of my oval. So to do that, I'm going to pick up a 15, an 11, two more 15s, an 11, and another 15. There we go. Okay, so that's what you want to have on your needle: 15, 11, 2 15s, 11, and one more 15. And I'm going to go through the opposite side of the bead that I'm exiting. Okay, so that's what you want to have right now. And then to get to the other side, I'm going to go through the 15 and the 11 and the next 15. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. And to create the little point on the other side of our shape, we need one more 15. And I'm going to go through the 15 and the 11. Okay, so let me hold it this way. Okay, so you can see that the inside of our oval shape is complete. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go around the inside of my oval shape until I exit the bottom part here, so the little point shape that you see, and then I'm going to do my other sequence up here. Okay, so I'm going to go around the inside by going through all 3 15s on the left. Okay, and then I'm going to go through the 15 and the 11. And now I want to get back up to this next 15 up here at the point. So I'm going to go through the next 2 beads. Okay, and now I just need to repeat what I have there on the other side. So basically it's just 2 15s with an 11. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 1 15, 1 11, and another 15. There we go. And I'm going to go through the opposite side of the bead that I'm exiting. There we go. Okay, so we have the same thing on both sides of our oval shape. Okay, so I'm coming out here right now, and I'm going to go down the 15 and the 11 there. Okay, so now what I need to do is go around the oval shape and just fill in all of the gaps that are empty. So we're going to add 2 15s to each side of our oval shape. So I'm going to start off by picking those up. So 1, 2. Okay, and I'm going to insert my needle up here in the 15 that's closest to the size 11. Right there. Okay, and pull on my thread. Now I'm going to go through the 11 right beside it and go down the next 15. Okay, so now we have another empty gap. I'm going to fill that by picking up 2 more 15s right there, and I'm going to go down the silver bead in 11-0. Okay, so that filled in the empty gaps on the bottom of our oval, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So go ahead and pick up 2 more 15s. And you're going to go through the 15 that's sitting there closest to the size 11 at the very, very top of your shape, and pull on your thread. Okay, now we just have 1 empty gap, so I'm going to continue on through the 11 and down the next 15. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up 2 more 15s. And I'm going to go through the size 11 right below. There we go. Okay, so that's what your design should look like at this point. And what I'm going to do is put my needle through all of the beads there around the outside of my shape. Okay, so contouring counterclockwise from right to left, going all the way around until I exit this 11-0 there at the bottom of my oval. Okay, so I'm just going to do the full round here, going through all of the beads on the outside of my shape. And this just helps to reinforce it as well as you're going on the outside. Helps to strengthen, you know, the shape of the oval. And I'm going to go through the next 3 15s and back through the 11. Okay, so that's where you want to be exiting. You want to be coming out of the left-hand side of your size 11 bead in silver. And now we're ready to create another connector. So to do that connector, I'm going to pick up a clear bead in 15-0 and a silver bead in 11-0 and another clear bead in 15-0. Okay, go through the opposite side of the bead that you're exiting and that creates our connector. So to make that stronger, you're just going to go through all of the beads that you just added on to reinforce it. And step back up through the 15 and the 11. Okay, there we go. So you can see how our piece is coming along. We're going to go through another segment one more time, and then I'll show you how to finish off your piece with the loop closure. Okay, so what we need at this point is 3 more beads in 15-0. Okay, that's what you should have on your needle, and go through the opposite side of the bead that you're exiting. Okay, and then go through the first 15-0 and the second 15-0. So at this point we're going to create the inner circle part of the oval. So to do that, I'm going to pick up 115, 111, 2 more 15s, another 11, and 1 more 15. Okay, and go through the opposite side of the bead that you're exiting. So right there. Okay, so now we need to go through the 15, the 11, and the next 15, all 3 beads right below. Okay, and now we just need to create the little peak on this side. So I'm going to pick up another 15. And I'm going to go down the next 2 beads. Okay, so that just helps create the little point on the other side of our piece. And now we're going to go around until we reach this little point again, and then we're going to add on the beads there at the top. So go through the next 3 15s. Okay, we're working our way around the shape. Go through the 11 and the next 2 15s. Okay, and now we're at the other side. We can create the little topper. So it has 115, 111, and another 15. And we're going to go through the opposite side. Okay, so that's the shape that you want to have at this point. You can carry on through the next 2 beads below on the right hand side. So the 15 and the 11. And now we just want to attach, the 2 15s on each side of our oval and fill in all of the gaps. Okay, so I'm going to start off by picking up 2 15s. And I'm going to go through the first bead that's sitting there next to the 11. Pull tight on your thread. Carry on through the 11, down the next 15, and now we have another empty gap, so I'm going to pick up 2 more 15s, and I'm going to go through the first 11-0 there. Okay, so that's what the shape looks like. I need to pick up 2 more 15s. And I'm going to go through the first bead there that's sitting right next to the size 11 at the top of the shape. Right there. Okay. Okay, so now that we're coming out of the right hand side of the 11-0, we have one more gap to fill. So we're going to go down the next 15. Okay, pick up 2 more 15s. And we're going to go through the size 11 bead there on the right hand side. Okay, so our third oval shape is now complete, and what we have to do is go around the very outside of this shape all the way around, going clockwise, until we come back up to the top of the shape, which would be exiting the size 11. Okay, and then we'll be ready to create another connector. So just go ahead and contour the outside of your shape. Okay, so again, I'm just going down all of the beads on the outside. So right now I'm going down 3 15s. And next I'm going to go through the 11 and down another set of 3 15s. And back through the 11. Okay, so that's where you want to be in order to create your next connector. Okay, so you're going to continue working on this pattern all the way down the necklace or bracelet or earrings, whatever it is that you decided to make today. And then once you reach the right length of your piece, you're going to create a loop closure, which is what I'm going to go over next. Okay, so you can see that on this side of my necklace, I've done a loop closure using clear beads. Now it's up to you whether you want to use clear beads or the galvanized rose beads. I chose clear just because it's more transparent and not as obvious, but it's, you know, your decision. So what we're going to do on the side that is not yet complete is we're going to pick up a total of 5 clear beads in 50-0. Okay, so a total of 5, a group of 3 and a group of 2. Push those down on your needle, and you're going to go through the opposite side of the top of your oval shape, so exiting the 11, and you're going to go through the other side of that same bead. Okay, so that's what creates the loop. And then to make it a little bit stronger and stiffer, you're going to go through all of the beads that you just added on. Okay, and now you're going through the size 11 right below. And at this point, you can go down a couple of beads there on the right. Okay, so I went through the first 2 beads, and you can tie a knot, okay, by going on the inside of your shape. And then you can go through another couple of beads and tie another knot. So I'm going down the 11, and I'm going to insert a knot right there. There we go. So I have 2 really good knots there to secure my piece. And now I can go ahead and get my scissors and cut off the excess thread here. Set that aside. Okay, so now that we have the closure done, and you're going to do it of course on the other side as well, you're going to go ahead and pick up your flat nose pliers and insert one of the jump rings into one of the loops, close it up, there we go. And for the other side, you're going to pick up the other jump ring as well as your lobster claw, and you're going to insert that through the other loop. Okay, and close it back up. There we go. Okay, so that's your closure. You're going to open up your lobster claw and insert it through the jump ring, and that's how you fasten the back of your bracelet or necklace. And of course, if you decided to do earrings, you're going to use earring hooks instead of, the things that I've used here. So anyways, that concludes our beading tutorial for today. I hope that you really enjoyed making this oval-shaped metallic necklace, and I hope that it works really well with your wardrobe. And if you haven't already done so, please take a minute to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any supplies at all, I've included links to Amazon in the description box down below. So even if you're not in North America, it'll redirect you to the correct Amazon website, and I earn a small commission if you do decide to buy through those links. So thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you're having a great summer, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye for now.